Alexandra Eala. The fans that she had today were people that she won over with her tennis and her performance.
Welcome back to Baseline, where we break down what really happened behind the headlines. On Saturday afternoon at Wimbledon, the defending champion Iga Swiatek walked off center court defeated by a 21-year-old from the Philippines named Alexandra Eala. That alone would be shocking, but what happened over the next 24 hours and what it means for tennis in 2026 is something else entirely. Let's start with the actual tennis, because the scoreline tells you everything about how dominant this performance was. Eala won that match 7-6 in the first set, then 6-2 in the second. We're talking 91 minutes of pure execution against a 5-time Grand Slam champion who didn't drop a single game when she won Wimbledon last year. This wasn't a Swiatek collapse. This was calculated, clean, methodical. Eala hit 24 winners. She had 21 unforced errors. She converted 5 of 7 break points. The numbers look like a champion's performance, and that's because it was. But here's the story within the story that nobody wanted to talk about. Everyone in tennis has been saying for 2 years that Eala's biggest weakness is her second serve. It's all the scouting reports. It's what everyone points to when they say she can't compete at this level yet. Saturday afternoon, that weakness became her greatest weapon. Eala won 55% of her second serve points. Swiatek won 32%. The player everyone said had a liability outserved the defending Wimbledon champion on her own surface. Now, Swiatek wasn't in her strongest headspace coming into this match. A week before Wimbledon even started, she gave an interview to The Guardian. Direct quote, she said, "I understand why some people think I'm a bitch." That's the defending champion saying that about herself in a national newspaper. She called her Roland Garros final loss the worst match she'd ever played. She was bruised. She was in her own head. And the exact moment when a defending champion needs the crowd to lift her up, the crowd found someone else to fall in love with instead. When Eala picked up that microphone after the match, her voice was shaking. She said this is everything to her because she grew up in the Philippines training with her brother and her grandfather after school, wearing ruffled socks and light-up shoes. She invoked the names Serena Williams and Venus Williams in the same breath as her achievement. That 40-second clip got reposted by the official WTA account, the official Wimbledon account, the Olympics account. Each one was pulling 6-figure engagement in under an hour. While that video was circling the planet, Sabalenka's street-set win that same day was barely making the sports pages anymore. When the world number one finishes her match and nobody even notices, that's not a bad news cycle. That's a shift in what the entire sport is paying attention to happening in real time. Then Sunday came around and everything just accelerated. Naomi Osaka beat Sabalenka 6-3, 6-2 on court 1. First time Sabalenka's lost a straight-set match at a slam since 2020. And by Sunday night, Sabalenka was getting on a plane, while Eala was still in London practicing for her next round. The defending champion was going home. The challenger was moving forward. Here's what happened next that really matters. Swiatek, a 5-time Grand Slam champion, 4-time French Open winner, defending Wimbledon champion, stood at the post-match press conference and basically admitted Eala outplayed her. She described that second serve that everyone said was weak as super slow. Direct quote, she said, "It was much tougher to return a serve like that." Let me translate what that means. One of the best returners in women's tennis just told the world that the one shot Eala was supposed to be vulnerable on completely disrupted her rhythm. This wasn't Swiatek making excuses. This was a former world number one explaining exactly why she lost. Eala's response when a reporter asked her about it? "I did my job well. No boast, no spike of the ball, just pure confidence." Now zoom out, because this is bigger than just a Wimbledon upset. The WTA has spent the last few years openly searching for its next global crossover star, ever since Serena left the tour. Southeast Asia is the largest untapped tennis market in the world outside of China, And until this weekend, no player from that region had ever made it past the second week of a major as a real contender. Now you've got a 21-year-old from Quezon City who's articulate in 3 languages, who's photogenic enough that the Olympics is quoting her post-match speech, who just beat the defending champion on the biggest court in tennis. This is broadcast value. This is sponsor calculus changing in real time. This is the WTA Asia-Pacific calendar getting a completely new center of gravity. And the calendar is about to test whether Eala can actually sustain it. Let me give you the timeline because it matters. 8 days before Wimbledon even started, Eala lost the Eastbourne final to Maya Joint in a final set tiebreak. That was her first grass court main tour final, and she lost it. She posted a thanks to the crowd that night on social media. No self-pity, no excuses. 12 days later, she drew Maya Joint again in the Wimbledon second round. Eala won 3-6, 6-2, 6-0. Down a set after one match, then she won the next 2 sets without losing more than 2 games. 12 days between getting your heart broken in a final and completely dismantling the same player in straight sets. That's the metabolic quality of this player. That's the resilience that Sabalenka, by her own admission to The Guardian, has been struggling to find. She went on national television saying she's fighting with herself, and a week later, the crowd chose someone else to cheer for instead. Ruffled socks and light-up shoes, a super slow serve that broke a 5-time Grand Slam champion's rhythm, 12 days between heartbreak and revenge, Aryna Sabalenka admitted to a newspaper that she doesn't understand why the public turns on her, and then the very next week, the public found someone else to cheer for instead. In a single week, Alexandra Eala didn't just steal the Wimbledon spotlight, she inherited the narrative the entire sport has been waiting for, while the world #1 basically handed hers away on national television. Her next match is against Jasmine Paolini, the 2024 Wimbledon finalist and the number 13 seed. After that comes the Eustocian series where Eala's ranking is going to move sharply, and then you're heading into the year-end race, where Sabalenka's collapse this weekend just opened a door that nobody thought would be open in July. The prediction isn't even a bold call anymore. Eala finishes 2026 in the top 20, and the conversation about her ceiling stops being, can she make a slam quarterfinal, and starts being, which major is she going to win first? That's not hype, that's just where the ranking points and the trajectory are pointing. For everyone who's been tagging Alexandra Eala under posts that got 0 engagement for 3 years, you weren't early, you were correct. Saturday was the day the algorithm finally agreed with you. So here's the real question for the comments section. If Eala beats Paolini today, is Wimbledon 2026 already her tournament, even if she doesn't win the whole thing? Or does Sabalenka's exit mean the entire draw is wide open for someone else? Drop your 4th round pick and the score below. And if you've been following this saga from the beginning, subscribe. We break down every match Eala plays from here within hours. Center court moments, press room quotes, the angles the aggregator pages won't touch. This is a story that's just getting started.